Hi, welcome to the blog today, Friday the 11th of September, and we're looking at John's Gospel chapter 9, which is the sixth sign of Jesus. John's Gospel is all about showing that Jesus is God, and this, the story of the healing of the blind man, is a very detailed conversation. It's got humour in it, it's got a lot of theology in it, it's got frustration. It gathers around the healing sign of giving of sight to the man born blind. We are in the Feast of Tabernacles with its Festival of Light in the background, and one of the marks of the coming of the Messianic age is the receiving of sight by the blind. This is prophesied in Isaiah 29 verse 18 and 35 verse 5. And we see in this, the sixth sign, Jesus making an explicit connection with his earlier claim in the previous chapter, I am the light of the world. In this chapter, we learn again that the coming of the light has a twofold effect. It brings salvation to those who are blind, and it brings the shadow of judgment to those who will not come to the light. Rather than me talking much about it, let me just read you this fantastic dialogue. John's Gospel, chapter 9. As Jesus passed by, he saw a man blind from birth. And his disciples asked him, saying, Rabbi, who sinned, this man or his parents, that he should be born blind? Jesus answered, It was neither that this man sinned nor his parents, but it was in order that the works of God might be displayed in him. We must work the works of him who sent me, as long as it is day. Night is coming when no one can work. While I am in the world, I am the light of the world. When he had said this, he spat on the ground and made clay of the spittle and applied the clay to his eyes. And he said, Go wash in the pool of Siloam, which is translated sent. And so he went away, washed, and came back seeing. The neighbours, therefore, and those who previously saw him as a beggar, were saying, Is not this the one who used to sit and beg? Others were saying, This is he. Still others were saying, No, it's like him. He kept saying, I am the one. Therefore they were saying to him, How then were your eyes opened? He answered, The man who's called Jesus made clay and anointed my eyes and said to me, Go to Siloam and wash. So I went away and washed, and I received my sight. They said to him, Where is he then? He said, I don't know. They brought to the Pharisees him who was formerly blind. Now it was the Sabbath on the day when Jesus made the clay and opened his eyes. Again, therefore, the Pharisees also asked him how he received his sight. And he said to them, He applied clay to my eyes, and I washed, and I see. Therefore some of the Pharisees were saying, This man is not from God, because he does not keep the Sabbath. But others were saying, How can a man who is a sinner perform such signs? And there was division amongst them. They said therefore to the blind man again, What do you say about him since he opened your eyes? And he said, He's a prophet. The Jews therefore did not believe it of him that he had been blind and had received sight, until they called the parents of the very one who had received this sight. And they questioned them, saying, Is this your son, who you say was born blind? Then how does he now see? His parents answered and said, We know this is our son, and that he was born blind. But now he sees. We don't know how or who opened his eyes. Ask him. He's old enough. He can speak for himself. His parents said this because they were afraid of the Jews, for the Jews had already agreed that if anyone should confess him to be Christ, he should be put out of the synagogue. For this reason his parents said, He's of age, ask him. So a second time they called the man who had been blind and said to him, Give glory to God. We know that this man's a sinner. He therefore answered, Whether he is a sinner, I don't know. One thing I know, whereas I was blind, now I see.